Hey, this is Nick from Toxic Customs. And today, we're going to show you how to customize your BMX. Alright guys, let's go check the bike we're working with today. Okay, so, looks like we've got a standard flat black BMX here. These things go for real cheap on Kijiji because people, they paint the entire thing flat black and then they realize it looks like garbage. So they try to get rid of it real quick and then they sell it for cheap crack money. So I'm going to pass it over to Chris and he's going to show you how to do the first step in painting your BMX.
Hey, yo, Chris, what are you doing over here?
Okay, so I'm just getting out my hex keys for taking off the seat. Come over here and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so with any BMX, most likely you're going to run into a hex key to take off the seat. So what you're going to want to do, as you see right here, the bolts are tightening this. So to get off the seat, you're just going to want to loosen them up a little, and I'll show you how to take off the seat after. So just grab it, loosen both of them off. Now if this is not a hex key, that's okay. Usually it's a screwdriver if not, so any of these hex keys can just be picked up at your local hardware store. So after you're done this, you should be able to just wiggle it off. Okay, so after you have that off, you're going to want to take this off too. If it's not coming off, just use a hammer, but I'm able to rip mine off because the more looser you do the bolts, I think the more easier it is. Okay guys, so you're going to want to grab a ratchet and a number 15 bit and attach it to your ratchet to take off the tires.
Yo, man, some people, they can't afford that shit.
Alright, so if you're not going to be being able to, I know I didn't have one of these, so before this, I just used a regular wrench.
Adjustable wrench.
Adjustable wrench. So just two adjustable wrenches, one on each side. That can be used too. I find this is a lot easier. Now, number 15 is a standard size, but if you have another size, just keep trying the different bits, or just use this. So I'm going to show you how it's done. Okay, so we're going to start off with the back wheel. So first thing you want to do is grab these guys. Make sure they run left. Just going to loosen it. You can't take it out, keep on. Just go on.
Yeah, so it's clear. You go counterclockwise, loosen something.
Okay, so you don't want to take it all the way off, and then just flip it over to the other side, and repeat the same thing. So to take the chain off, it's quite simple. See, it's just falling off already, but this is how you do it. Just unhook it.
Unhook it off the front, usually. It's easier if you're having
slide
troubles.
it out. So now I'm going to show you how to do the front wheel. It's relatively the same thing. Okay, so with this, your brakes are going to get in the way. So what you're going to do is squeeze them and disconnect your brakes. So by disconnecting them, you're just going to want to pull up out of this groove and release. This will pull apart after. Okay, so then you should be able to slide your wheel through the brakes.
Alright, so at this point, this is what your bike should look like, I say.
Alright, so now we want to disconnect the brakes because we don't want to end up painting the brakes. So the first thing you want to do is you want to disconnect the cable so that the brakes are in two separate pieces. So do that. You gotta wind this off, and then you can kind of just want to wiggle this piece of metal, and then it comes off, and now the wire comes out. Okay, so now the brakes, it's just a little bit stuck. Yeah, so now the brakes are separate from the brake cable. So the next thing you want to do is remove them just by taking a ratchet and then just putting it in here, and then you just want to use the hex key. So this one's a little bit tough, Looks like the guy that we bought this from, he probably left his flat black bike out in the rain because he obviously didn't care about it because he painted it flat black. So that's a little bit tough. Because it breaks off. Now we're gonna do the second one. This comes out, and then these should just wiggle them a little bit, and they should come straight out. So then you want to put them in some sort of tray or something, or just a little plastic container. That way you don't lose them. So put everything you're working with in a container.
Okay guys, so now I'm going to be showing you how to disconnect the brake cable. So the brake cable is right here, So what you're going to want to do is this piece that connects to the brake, you're just going to want to rip it off. Now if you get it as one piece, that's great. Like, I didn't get it in one piece, but that's okay because you can just slide the rubber piece in and this should just come on and off too. So just slide that back together after, and it's going to be one piece. I'm also going to put it into the bucket as parts because I don't want to lose anything. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do, now I have special kind of brakes here that allow me to do a bar twist. So they're going to run through and up the main shaft of the bike, but normally they should just be coming up and around these. So in this situation, just feed the wire through the little holes, the rings. Sometimes it takes a bit of force, and then start to feed it up through the middle. Now if this is not the case, just feed it up through the rings like I am now, and just feed it from wherever it's coming from. Okay, so now once you get to the part where you actually pull the brake, what you're going to want to do is zoom in close here. So you want to line up see the crack here? You're going to want to line that up with the other cracks. Now sometimes it's pretty hard to grip this. If that's the case, just get some pliers and then twist it. So just line it up nicely here, and sometimes it takes some force. And once you're into this part, it should be sideways. Now I know that we bought it from some guy that wasn't very smart with bikes, so it should be like this. Now then you're gonna want to turn it so it can just come up and down easily, like I am showing you right now. Okay, and then you can just tuck this in if you want to paint, but we're gonna be disconnecting these later. So that's how you disconnect the brake line.
Also, just take this shit.
Hey guys, so the next thing we're going to do is be removing the handlebars. So there should be some bolts at the front, either they're on top, in our case, or on the side. So before we were dealing with a number 5 hex key, now we're going to be using a number 6 because it's a little bigger hole. So just loosen them all off.
Yeah, go counterclockwise.
Loosen them off, breaking them off.
Ooh, it's clockwise. Yeah, don't use it. That's not anything.
Okay. So now that all of them are off, this should just slide off really easily, as it did right now. So your handlebars are disconnected from the bike itself. Now you can just slide this on again if you're going to be painting this. So in our case, we're just going to leave this off for now.
Okay, guys, now we're going to remove the stem from the bike. So what you want to do is go like this. You just want to go counterclockwise. Loosen up counterclockwise. Okay, so loosen up a little bit. Remember loosen up. Okay. Okay. Loosen up. Most of the hand. So after I took off those, now we're going to take off the top. Just gotta go back. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this off. We're gonna start loosening this. This should loosen by hand. If it doesn't,
What are you loosening?
okay, yeah, we're gonna loosen this whole mechanism in here.
All
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, all these rings. Yeah, this one has a lot of rings. Some of them just have a few. Yeah. So anyway, you want to loosen. You want to loosen them up, and then all bikes are different. So this one happens to have a stack of rings. This that's like more support. Okay, so now at this point, this whole thing should just come off. Okay, but it's very important to notice that you have a set of washers right here.
You're going to want to try and keep them all together, faced up, but we'll show you putting the bike back together.
And if you look back on this bike right here, you have another set of washers, or bearings, sorry, right here. So you can just, so you don't lose them, you can just put them on there. Because this part of the bike we're going to be painting, and we don't want it to get paint on it, because when you get paint on it, you might notice it's a little bit harder to turn. So now we're going to get to the part where we remove the crank, which is the part that you would actually pedal, and it also includes the gear. So we have the gear on this side, so it's on the bottom right now. We want to go to the opposite side, which is the side without a gear on it. Okay, it just has a pedal. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is remove the pedal. So if you look right here into the pedal,
is actually something to remove. Because like using the
Usually, I
adjustable
tell you
wrench-
guys to go counterclockwise to loosen something, but with this crank, it's actually a little bit unique. So what you actually do is you go clockwise. So this is gonna take a lot of strength. So you have to be really strong. Yeah, you gotta be really strong to get this off.
Sometimes you can use a hammer
Yeah.
if you think that would
So
help.
if you want to do it and you're not really that strong, you kind of want to put it in here and then take a hammer and hit it, just to get it loose at the beginning. Yeah, so once it's loose, you can just like do like your thing. Do it with your finger, and then there, it comes right off. Okay, guys. Next thing you want to do is you got to remove stuff in here. Okay, so we're gonna take something that's like got a really big wide grip like this.
Vice grips will also work better if you have some of those.
Yeah, and we're gonna go again. This is a weird thing. You go clockwise. Yeah. So there.
So make sure you keep track of what the order is of why you're taking the stuff off.
Yeah, very important because we're gonna show you guys how to put it back on.
But your bike might be slightly different.
Yeah. So I don't know if like got like a sticker of Shrek's balls somewhere in there. You have to remember where that is. Okay. So we're gonna remove this, and then after that, we're gonna remove this thin metal. Basically, it's almost like a washer, and then we're gonna get to this. And the thing with this is, say if it's a little bit tight, you can always put like a screwdriver in here and bang it. But this one happens to be not that tight, probably because the guy didn't care about his bike.
Okay, so once you get that final ring, like I said, a screwdriver might be necessary, but you're just gonna want to keep. You can see all the thread, and in here, as you can see, there's a lot of lubrication. Now, you're gonna want some lube. I'm gonna show you when we're putting the bike back together. But make sure you keep all of these rings and everything in order, and take them all off carefully and place them down somewhere.
And put them. We can put them here, but you kind of want to keep them clean. So we're probably gonna end up washing ours after.
Yeah.
Okay. So now back at the bike. What we
Now,
want to do
this is kind of an awkward thing, but you're gonna want to, as you can see, it's like this. You want to twist it up, like this,
and kind of wiggle it, and then it should come out.
and then straight out. And a chain,
Chain. You can just
disconnect it,
take that off.
and then you're gonna have the gear free from the bike. And that's how you disconnect the crank. Okay, guys. So this is what we're basically left with: just the bare minimum frame and the chain. Now, if you want to take off the chain, you have to find a bit in the chain, but normally it's really hard to find the bit, and when you find the bit, it's hard to take off and on, so we're just going to leave it. So what you're going to want to do is just get some water. Now, our bike is filthy, so just spray the whole bike and get a scrub brush and just scrub it. Because you're not going to want any dirt left on the bike, or else well, we're going to be sanding it later, which will get rid of any dirt, but this is just an overall first cleaning. Okay guys, so after you've done washing the bike, you're going to want to dry it off and then get ready for the sanding process. I'm going to be using electric sandpaper at 50 grit. This is a little worn down, so you might need to replace it a few times even. So as you can see, I've gone down to the white primer that the guy put on, and in some spots I've gone down to the metal. Now it doesn't really matter, you're just going to want to get off that first layer of paint and roughen it up so the next layer of primer and the paint will stick on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So the next thing you're going to want to do is get up and get some tape. I'm going to be using duct tape to cover up all the little holes everywhere. So I'm just going to use two. So you don't need to right? And they will put on that so you want this one, that one, this one. You should put on edges and make sure it's sealed. So I'm going to tape because this is not tape or I'm going to tape a little bit. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Right, so now next thing I'm going to do is so yeah. I think you did more for us, so make sure you have all these details.
Okay.
Now we're gonna paint.
Okay, guys. So after we sanded the bike and washed it, I forgot to mention that we have to wash the bike after to get all the pieces of dried up paint off, and then we take these up, and now we're gonna use primer. So it's important to use a primer so that the paint doesn't peel off easily. So you're gonna want to shake your spray paint until you hear clicks, and then just keep going for a little bit after that. So you can see, you want to do first, slide across, just hold it, you want to use and stretch it a little. Okay, so after you're done that, you're gonna want to hang it up somewhere to dry. Depending on how much it dries, it should say on the can.
Alright.
Okay, guys. So now, the brake line, where the brakes go on, I forgot to mention this. I kind of sand them down a little. It shouldn't really make a difference, but just the paint is a lot more heavier than the primer. So just put some of this tape. I don't really recommend duct tape for this because it's pretty strong and it might make it stick even more than it would if there was just regular paint. So yeah, just wrap some. I'm using Scotch tape or painter's tape. I mean, Scotch tape would work too. Anything that's not too heavy with the stickiness. So you just wrap them around nicely. And yeah, so now we're gonna start our coat. So I know I said that flat black is kind of messed up, but we're gonna be doing a flat black design, but we're doing it professionally, unlike some of those guys spraying that on. So we're gonna start off maybe 2 or 3 coats, depending on how it looks like. So we're probably gonna be doing 2. So.
Okay, guys, now we're gonna let it dry.
Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to disconnect the tire and basically take the tire and the tube off of the rim so you can paint the rim. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take off this. I think everyone knows how to do that. You unscrew it. Okay, now you want to release the air from the tire. You can use anything. I'm just going to use this. Using your fingernail. You can even use your fingernail if you're kind of messed up. Yeah, so I'm doing it for the front tire, but
Same process.
exactly. Okay, so now we have no air left in the tire. Now we want to start peeling off the tube. So you can use, I'm going to be fancy, I'm going to be a deluxe hatchet guy. But you can use anything like a screwdriver or anything. Basically what you want to do, kind of peel this back, and then you want to just edge this in here and peel it back. Okay? I'm just going to have that there. And I'm going to do it again on another spot. Alright, so once you put the second one in, then the middle one will fall out. So you just gotta go along and just peel off this side of the tire. Yeah, this one's, you can feel it's a little bit tight. It almost feels like the guy kept his bike in the hot sun and
No.
started to basically melt to the actual rim. Alright, so now they're at this stage. Now we want to remove a little bit more air. We haven't removed all of it by now. Yeah, just until you stop hearing a squeezing sound. And at this point you want to push this part out, and then now just remove the tube. Yeah, so then this side is the part we just peeled off. So we're going to flip it over, and basically going to start peeling it off the other side. So you just want to go along the edge as it starts to peel off. There. Now you got the rim, the tire, and the tube, which you don't see, so I wouldn't recommend painting that.
Okay guys, so now I'm going to be spray painting my tire gold. I don't really recommend painting your tire because as you drive it's just going to wear out and look like garbage. So let's get started. Now with this you're going to want to go even stroke, but you'll see that it's going to look really nice. But the niceness won't last forever. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, and now that I've got the tire spray painted, we're going to move on to painting the next thing. Alright. Okay guys, so now we're going to be putting the tires back on. So I really like how this gold tire turned out. But so if you're doing the other tire, the front tire, it doesn't matter because the gear is not on this one, but you're going to want to make sure that you find the arrow. As you can see, there's an arrow right here pointing this way, meaning the tire should match up. So this is going to be the opposite way, so you're going to pedal and the wheel's going to turn that way. So you want to make sure the arrow is pointing in the way that it's turning, not the opposite way. So then after you have that, you want to get the wheel and put half of the wheel on
Just put one side of the wheel on for now, and it makes it a lot easier to put the tube. Okay guys, so remember these things that we were using? If you're using something to help wedge the tire in, make sure it's not a sharp screwdriver, because I was actually using a sharp screwdriver and I punctured the tire. So make sure you use something that's not very sharp. Okay, so now that you have half of one part of the tire on, it should look like this. There's gonna be the first side, this side is gonna be going all around. So next thing you're gonna wanna do is find the hole. So where you put the air in. So that's the hole right there. But I like to usually work with it at the top. So then this thing right here, you're gonna wanna stretch this out. Okay, so after you have this in the hole, you're gonna want to feed this tube into the hole, into the tire, under it. Don't worry about getting it in the rim for now, because it should just pop into place after. Okay, so that's what you should be left with, something like this. So then, what you're gonna want to do is get your screwdriver again. I'm gonna be using these, and just start to wedge it into the hole, and try not to catch the tube, or else you can puncture a hole. Okay, looks like I just need one or two more. Okay, one more. And that's how you put the tire and tube back on the rim. Okay guys, so now I'm going to be applying the flat black to the handlebars, so. Okay guys, so now we're going to start to assemble the bike. So basically I just put the seat on, the seat tightener, and now we're going to put on the, basically the most hardest part, which is the gear,
And the crank.
the crank shaft. So this is how you start off. So this is the order. Coming close, here's how to get the order. So make sure you clean these all well with water. Make sure you scrub them nice with a rag, get them all clean as we did over here. And I'm going to be using some Moto Master since 1933 grease for wheel bearings and chains. So I recommend using some grease. Any type of lubricant basically will work. But you're going to want to use this to keep the inside grease, and it's going to be a little easier to pedal, and you're not going to hear any weird sounds. So that's another reason why you want to clean them well. So you don't hear any weird sounds, and it's going to be easy and nice to pedal. So the first thing that comes on is this. So you're going to grab some grease and throw it all over. Basically, just throw it on the thing. It's going to get messy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like put that all in there.
This is basically what's going to help you with the pedaling. I know you're probably going to be frustrated by here, but like you want to make sure that you get all of your stuff and clean them nicely. So that's the first thing that goes on. Okay, come up close and I'll show you how to put it in. So you're going to want to put this side in, and then bend it and make sure that the thing goes in nicely.
We're gonna put on the second washer. I already got some of the stuff on it. So now, yeah, it's got the little balls in it. All right. So now we're gonna put it. I'm gonna put is this one. Okay, just like that. Or sorry, not like that. Yeah, you want to have the balls facing in. So
Into the
notice
crank.
how you have this kind of ring, kind of, and then on this side you have the balls. So put the ring against this thing. Okay, now we're gonna.
What about this washer over here? This stuff.
That goes on after.
That goes on after? Okay.
Hopefully. Alright.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold it. Okay. So you wanna. This is a little bit annoying. Yeah. So you wanna align this. Yeah. Get this washer in, because if it's not in right, then it'll break, and then you'll have little balls everywhere, and then you'll have some big balls. As you have to tell your brother that you broke his bike.
That'd be kind of sad. Okay.
Alright, so
Like this.
maybe you should wash your hands. But yeah, you can start screwing this on. And remember, guys, that it's actually counterclockwise to tighten it. Because whenever you're dealing with the crank, it's the opposite. Okay.
Okay, that's good, right?
Yeah, how tight is it?
I think.
Whoa, whoa, guys. Make sure shit doesn't hit the fan.
Okay, guys, make sure you want to keep your bike in mint condition because all you care about is looks. You don't even know how it looks. You don't even care how it works, guys. You can just push it beside you. So if this doesn't go well, you can just push the bike beside you and look nice. And then when they ask you why aren't you driving it, say,
Yo, popped the tire the other day.
yeah, pop, pop. And it's like, oh, it looks like a nice tire. Actually, we went through 3 tires. But like, we got that tire now.
Okay, guys. Yeah, next thing, just to specify. Actually, I'll take this shit off. It's a very big deal. So yeah, you have this, and you see it has a little notch in it. Yeah, so you just want to start going on here, and then
line it up.
you'll notice there's like a little notch. It only fits in on one way.
Okay, so see how there's you'll see on your bike, but there's little notches. I think it's easier to see if you come around right here. There's a little notch right here. Yeah, and the 2 notches have to go on each side. So that's how you line that one up, and then the next one is just gonna screw down. Okay, so now we're gonna be using this adjustable plumb wrench. So
So basically, the reason for that is so nothing starts undoing itself.
okay, so now we're just gonna start screw this on.
Oh, other way.
It's gonna be the opposite way.
Yeah.
It's gonna be clockwise because
Counterclockwise.
no.
Counterclockwise to tighten.
Counterclockwise to put it on. Yep, that's what I just said. And now we're gonna be using a different adjustable wrench.
Yeah, you can just use whatever you find simplest.
Even a hammer and a screwdriver if you don't have any adjustable wrench.
Or your bare hands.
So you want to get these really tight. As you guys remember at the beginning, it was really hard to get these on. I mean, really hard to get these off. And that's why. Yeah, so now we're gonna be putting on the back tire. So yeah, you just want to lower this down.
Here, let's put the chain on now. This looks like it's kind of a tight fit.
Okay, I'm just gonna loosen this real quick.
Yeah, you want to pull back.
Yeah, you want to have your bike tire.
Yeah, especially if you put a lot of paint on it, then you really want to have it back because it's more likely to slip.
Okay, you don't need to do it that tight. Just hand tight. Like with the thing. Don't go ham.
Yeah, don't like jump on it with your weight or anything.
Okay, so. Okay, guys. So now
Now we're going to be doing the forks on the bike. So this part was on top, so we're going to take off that. And as you can see, the two bearings, zoom in close here. The two bearings are the things separating. So we're going to take off that top bearings because always the ball is facing the what we're going into. So throw that down. Put this on top.
Make sure it creates a snug fit.
Yeah, you want a snug fit like that. That looks pretty nice. And now we're gonna go ahead and see how the balls are facing down. That's good.
Put this stack of stuff back on.
Okay, so now we're gonna put some lube. Come closer here. All around this. Yeah, bearings. Wherever you see bearings, you want to put lube. Okay, so now we're putting this these ones facing down on here. Yeah, you don't want lube in random places. Okay, so now we're just gonna stack this stuff on. Yeah, so now we're gonna be doing the handlebars. So we're just gonna leave these bags on for now. So this gold piece that we did.
And so this is part of the crank. We took ours apart because we wanted to paint it differently. So you just want to take off all the screws. And then you want to put the handlebar on. So you find out which way it just went. So ours went like this. And so you want to do that. Put it on like that.
So yeah, that just fits there nicely. And then this tightens it. Yeah, and that's how that goes. It's
Yeah.
We're just gonna tighten this up real quick.
Yeah, see?
We just load the tire in here, and then line up. If you have these, come up. Okay, if you have these things, as you can see, they have a little knob on them. So there's a hole right there that we just stick it into. And we just do that on both sides. Okay, so then we're just going to be using our sprocket right over here to tighten each end up. You don't want to tighten one side too much before tightening the other side. Okay, so now we're going to be putting on the seat, so make sure these bolts are loosened. If you guys took this off, this just slides right on. And then this, if you want to tilt your seat back a little like the BMXers do, all up in the hood, so what you're going to want to do is these bolts just loosen off, adjust whatever angle you want to, and then tighten them back up. So yeah, it just basically slides in. If you have some trouble, try wiggling it. So this is good. Then just take it out again, and then tighten this up. Put the bolts on this one really tight, or else you're going to be going up and down. And also these two, you're going to want to tighten them so it doesn't go side to side easily. So with this, you want to line up this part right here, the front of the seat, exactly with the body of the bike, and then tighten these bolts. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video of showing you how to create a BMX and customize it to your likings. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe.